Hi guys, I'm going to be doing a demonstration today. Yay! And actually, let me give you a little bit of background about this demo first. As you know, my camera does not have a viewfinder on it. It actually depends on using things like an external monitor TV that's sitting across the room, which is really hard for me to see. And so I went ahead and I picked up a little device, which I'll show you in a minute. But first, let me show you something else. Yes, you got it. This is still in the package here. And for some reason, they gave me two of these instead of one. This is what they call a test card. And as you can see, it has a variety of test patterns on it. It will tell you things like the lens's quality. Normally, you're supposed to set them maybe about 2 to 3 feet away from the lens, so it fills the whole screen. In this case, I'm just holding it up in my hands here, so you can see what it looks like. And on the back of this chart, there is an aberration test, which you may or may not be able to see the vertical bars going down. If you can see the vertical and horizontal, that's what it's for. It's to help you set the cameras, make sure, watch for lens distortion. Now back to the front side here, we have a few other things here. We have, like I mentioned about the one I was using on my iPhone, we have a series of focusing rings that you can tell once this thing is fully in screen center. You can use this to test your lenses, as well as, even though it's not right now in the camera, I can actually use this to test my focus on my camera as well. So I can actually see if I'm focused very well. That's one of they give me two of them. I don't know why. I think they're supposed to give me one, but they give me two. Okay. The other one I want to show you is a gray card that the company also sent me as well. It originally was a bonus. So let me show you the gray card here. This is the gray card. It takes your primaries. Okay, you got your black, your gray, your white, your blue, your yellow, and your magenta. Okay, so you can use this to also adjust your equipment to make sure it's a spec. Now here's the thing that's interesting. On the back of the cardstock is also gray. I don't know what gray level that's supposed to be. It doesn't quite look like this gray. I think this is like a it's just a general gray card. Okay, and the idea of this gray card is you use this card with, say, your exposure meter. More realistically, what is that right now? Okay, so point is you use this when you know your exposure value, and you can get a reading on it. It'll tell you, for example, that this is a 5, and then you can dial the 5 on this thing. And over here is set for my exposures, and it'll tell me that for my work I need to open the lens up to 4.5, which it is right now. So I know it's adjusted. So this is also, as I said, it's got a grayscale on the side, as well as a few of the composite colors or complementaries. This is more for printing colors. It was like upside down here. Okay, but you can use this to fix and adjust your camera. This is kind of a handy card, especially if you happen to be trying to focus something. Next demonstration is not really so cool, but it's this. You're not going to be able to see it from there. I'm sorry, guys. I tried to make this demonstration a little easier to see. So let me just bring this forward over here. This is the little monitor thingus. Now I got it hooked up to 2 different cameras. Right now I got this hooked up to the BW234 mono, and I have this hooked up to the I'm sorry, it's a little bit out of focus. I just happened to be hooked up in a hurry. Now I switched it over to the color camera. You can see right now The two cameras are actually kind of pointed at me. They're not really pointed right at me, but they're. And what happens is it switches position, because this is designed for a automobile rear view monitor. It connects in with a standard 12-volt barrel connector, so it's not really a very specialized connector. It's just pretty standard. It comes with some peel and stick rubber feet or a rubber thingy to stick to your dashboard. It's kind of small. It's actually not bad. It's kind of. Is it good quality? Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. I mean, it's not super great. I still got the protective film on it, so that's why it looks like that. Inside the box, you got the regular mains lead right here. You can see it here. This is what comes with it. They'll connect to your car battery. Okay, and it connects into the hole here. Kind of like the barrel connector does. Okay, and then you wire this into your accessory terminal, or maybe to where your radio is, or whatever on your car. It doesn't draw a lot of power. In this case, I'm using it in the house. So what I do is I have an AC wall wart here, and I just plug it into the hole, same place like you plug in the other cord. Okay, and then you hook your camera in. I'm gonna pay about $14 for this one. I got two cameras. Let me explain something about this. Okay, you got two leads. Okay. The first is the white. The white is for the backup camera lens. Okay, so when you hit the backup, normally if you're backing up, your backup lights go on, the white lights in the car, and then it turns on the camera in the rear. And when it detects a signal, oops, wrong hole. So I'll use the color one for this one. It will switch on the color camera. Okay. The problem with the color camera, as you can see, is it's these cameras, by the way, are NTSC. They're not PAL. The PAL camera works fine with it too. In fact, the PAL looks a bit better. And then, of course, if you're like watching, say your kids want to watch a TV show or something, you could have the other camera connected in to or DVD player. Okay. And so you can actually now, when you turn off camera one, you get camera two. Okay, so it's really kind of cool. Is it going to replace the big fancy monitor on my desk? I don't know yet. I really don't know if this is going to replace my big monitor on my desk, because it does have its nice features. Here we go. And it will switch over to the color camera. So you can see Mr. Poofy Cat over there on the other one, and we can switch back this way, and I see the Poofy Cat in the monochrome camera. So there you have how that works. This is actually pretty small. You can mount this on the camera without too much of a fuss. The only thing is, I'm a little bit disappointed with this company. Is where they put the fuse. Why didn't you put the fuse in this side of the cord? Why didn't you put the fuse in here in this cord? Because this is the cord that is likely to touch against the car innards and possibly short out. Not so much this part here. I didn't pay very much for this. I paid, I think, about I said about $13, $14. Because of the cost of technology has come down so much. From China, you can buy these things really not that expensive. And in fact, this is definitely expendable. I mean, for the price I paid on this, you can definitely say this is expendable. Now, how is this going to work with the new the camera we use in the studio here? Well, it works the same way. If I unplug the big monitor there, I'm not going to do that because it's going to mess up my impedance. But if I did plug this into this camera, and it works fine. It gives you a good picture, and you can see everything on it. The only thing I noticed is when I was looking at the PAL camera signal or NTSC signal on this camera, is I noticed there was a little bit of a flicker. I think that's because they're trying to do some kind of mumbo jumbo to make this camera work fine. By the way, it does come with a simple set of instructions that are basically really useless. They're in pidgin English. They're not really easy to read. They're only one page. Basically, to avoid confusion, it's pretty simple, really, to hook this up. Just look at the diagram. Don't worry about the words, or what they are, or what signals go where. What signals I'm talking about. I appreciate the company trying to put this in English, but I don't think they did a marvelous job on it. It's really kind of hard to understand what it said. Now, as you can see, it's designed for use for automotive applications, but the camera is very small. I mean, it's just very small. You could power up this thing probably on a 9-volt battery, so you could use this as a way to test security cameras in the field. There's no reason why you couldn't. In fact, this thing is small enough and inexpensive enough that it will work fine for that application. The only thing is that you need to remember is this thing is powered by about 12 volts DC from battery, or you can power it from the a wall wart, or you can power, like I said, a battery, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. It even shows the polarity here, if you need to know that. And it shows the illustration here that the camera should be going to connections. As I said, it's really kind of simple. The monitor, as I said, is really simple. You can actually get this as a complete kit with both the camera and the reverse monitor, camera lens, and the monitor. I didn't need the camera, so I didn't buy the camera package. But maybe I might reconsider it and buy the camera, the monitor, or the camera with it anyway. Only because then I could probably, because it is waterproof. What I could do with that is I got a new kitten, and I didn't talk about him yet. In fact, let me talk about him now. Quiet kitty. He doesn't really come out much. He's really kind of a quiet homebody. He doesn't like showing up. He doesn't like talking to anybody. And I was originally trying to find out where he was going. Well, obviously, I found out where he was, but then the problem was I didn't know if he was sneaking outside or not. Of course, I later found out he was, but with Rusty and Fang. So I was thinking is to take one of these cameras, maybe one of those outdoor bullet ones, the ones fancy ones that are sealed up with infrared LEDs on it. It's one of the few times I would buy the things. I mean, honestly, they're great because they're all one unit, but they're terrible because they also are, you can't change the lenses on them. You can't take the lenses out, But for surveillance, i.e. watching the cats go in and out of the house, I guess it would work fine. And if you install that thing and hook it up to the motion detect circuit, like this camera has it too, when the camera recognizes and sees in its field of view that there's something moving, i.e. cat jumping in and out of the window, it is going to switch over to that field so you can see it. So, really kind of cool to do that. By the way, this video is brought to you by Cumberland Farms in Winston, Connecticut. Cumberland Farms, you can get a coffee there for $1.05. That's $1.05 with Connecticut sales tax, or 99 cents without Connecticut sales tax. Available at any participating Cumberland Farms. Any size, any flavor coffee you want. They also have hot drinks, such as hot cocoa and cappuccinos. They also have, in many Cumberland farms, they have tea, and of course they have cold coffee or iced coffee as well for the same price of 99 cents. They also have fountain drinks going for 89 cents, in addition to food, sandwiches, snacks, and of course everything else. That's Cumberland Farms here in the United States of America. So you want to go ahead and participate in Cumberland Farms and enjoy a nice coffee with 99 cents plus your local taxes. And by the way, we also wanted to let you know that my teeth are doing better today. I did not get the chance to go to the dentist yet, but I did do is I glued the tooth back together using the local CVS brand of dental glue or dental adhesive. It's supposed to be temporary. The first time I tried to do it, I got it wrong. It didn't stick, and it made a mess. Finally, a couple days ago, I managed to figure out the ideal way to fix the tooth, which was split in twain, and at the same time to make sure that the everything else was okay. Now, by the way, in the next few days, the temperatures are going to be mild, and I wanted to let you know what our futures are for the upcoming season. Pursuant to the weather conditions, we will be in the other studio as of after Mabon. More than likely, unless we get all of a sudden Indian summer that's basically just brutal here in Connecticut. So I will be in the new studio, or the new old. Did I say that right already? I'll be in the other studio, the one where we can do chroma key, green screen, and everything else there. And of course, we will be using this new little LCD monitor for the purpose of allowing me to focus the camera easily. I don't know if I'm going to stick it onto the camera. I kind of have my doubts about doing that for reasons I'll explain. The reason I have doubts about sticking it to the camera is, what if I want to use it for a handheld shot? What if I want to use it, for other demonstrations? If it's stuck to the camera with a double-sided adhesive tape, I'm not going to be able to take it off and walk around the studio with it. So that's kind of the reason why I'm not sure if I'm going to go that route. Well, at least it's small enough they can put it in my hand after I aim the camera. By the way, focusing it is a little tricky with this monitor because it is only 640 by 480. The PAL camera kind of pushes the envelope as far as digital quality, where some pixels that kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's like when you're trying to put a higher resolution video in downscaling it to a lower resolution display, it kind of looks like that kind of, I don't know, greeny, contrasty something. So I'll still be basically doing the old way, eyeballing it, and as well as using blind focus, but we'll have the monitor to help us out for composition. That was the other problem we used to run into, is how did you compose a shot and keep a shot in focus? Well, that was always a bit of a problem for me and for everyone else. Now, since I do have the two old cameras, I'm going to obviously find a use for them. And like I said one time in one of my other videos after we got the PAL cameras, they are security cameras. So security sounds like a good job for them. There's a new device out there for security cameras now, allowing you to use Category 5 cable with matching balums to allow you to connect one Category 5 cable for both power and the video signal. The only problem, as I noticed, is that I don't know if the person who designed this balums is aware that AC cameras, 24 volts AC cameras, are going to make an electromagnetic field that is potentially could distort the video picture. I don't think it's really a major issue for most people, but some people do have problems with it, so you have to be aware of that if you're going to go that route. Of course, as Thomas Edison would probably be happily smiling in his grave and saying, yeah, but that's where DC comes in. Nice. DC does not make any electromagnetic disturbances, and it basically is just pure flat. In this case, 12 volts DC is smooth. Well, unfortunately enough, I happen to have two PAL camera or NTSC cameras that are 60 cycles, 24 volts AC. I don't think they will run on 12 volts because obvious reasons. They're not designed to. Okay, if I'm going to run them on 12 volts DC, I would still need to find an alternative power source for them. Anyway, of course, I got the 50 watt power brick, which is more than enough to power about. If their East camera is about, I think the East camera is like 12 watts. I can power like, well, 4 of them with one power supply, which may not seem like a lot, but 4 cameras is quite a few actually. So you could, easily put, like I said, a camera outside the window, watch the cats go in and out, cameras in other rooms of the house. I want to wire this house kind of like Big Brother. I want to have cameras in all the rooms, not so much to snoop, but also to allow us to get a variety of camera angles for video work. The problem is that my video cameras for the videos are in PAL, and these cameras are in NTSC, and I don't know if I can easily mix the two in the same setup. I probably could if I use a protocol converter to convert the NTSCs to PAL, but I really don't want to go for it and go there. By the way, I wanted to say thank you for everybody who accepted my apology. I am very glad I did that. I felt a lot better afterwards, emotionally, to finally just say is I goofed. I made a bad decision to do what I did, and I'm going to try to fix that problem in the future of learning to control my temper. I have to anyway. But I still would love to hear your opinions and ideas on any of the topics in this video. For example, like I said, we have these color charts. You can get these for about $10 from a company called DJK. It's Color Tools, which has a site on eBay, okay? And likewise, you can get this little camera here, also on eBay. This is a 4.3 inch aspect ratio screen. This apparently looks like it's also 4x3. It's not 16x9. I don't need a 16x9, but if you want a 16x9 and rear view backup cameras, they do have them. They're a little more money, but they do have them. So if you want to find all of these items, they are on eBay. And if you need links to the products, let me know, and I will send you the links to these 2 items on eBay. So they're not that expensive, but if you want to know where these products are and you can't find them, if you want them, just send me an email to bicashela3@gmail.com and just ask me where can I find the links to buy the LCD 4.3 inch diagonal, or actually 3.5 inch diagonal, I'm sorry, wrong size, 3.5 inch diagonal backup monitor, or the DJK test cards, okay, and I will send you the links to that. And like I said, we now have 3 cats in here. We have Rusty, we have little Mikey, and we have, of course, Fame. Now, Mikey is kind of skittish, and he doesn't really come out very much. Rusty likes him a lot. He treats him like his stepson, and he's actually very, very loyal to the little kitty. But unfortunately enough, he's it's really hard to keep an eye on 3 cats, especially when you got a kitten, and he's very young and he's very small, and he can get himself caught in places that makes it really hard for them to get out. For example, that happened with he got behind my desk last night. I had to rescue him. He's okay. I just had a bad scare. Hollywood Hillbillies Dee Dee and her family is finding out the hard way about how David Weintraub agreed with Dee Dee's request to work on losing weight for her wedding. And now the family's dealing with nutritionists who basically has put the hammer down on every single favorite food that Mima and her family love. That was on last night's episode of Hollywood Hillbillies. Please watch it on Reels.com if you can, or watch the rerun next week. I thought it was really funny. But I thought that nutritionist was a little bit pushy. I've unfortunately run into people like that in nutritionists and weight loss programs, so I can certainly understand. A couple of weeks ago, Barnes & Noble, I don't know where, I guess this is a corporate event, wanted to have a day for Frozen Day, okay? And employees of the company were required to volunteer their time or else, and had to play Frozen characters. And this one cashier got stuck having to play Elsa. Now, the poor lady was so unhappy. I mean, she really, really was not making the kids happy. It wasn't her fault. She's a cashier. She's not an actress. She kind of built like me, kind of, big, but, a little bit, extra weight on her and not very Elsa-like at all. And her face is too dark. And you could see her dark brown hair under the wig, and that she really looked terrible. And people on YouTube, on Reddit and Tumblr, were making really big fun of her. And I wanted to let you know, ma'am, whoever you are, I have empathy for you. I know what you're going through. I know what it's like. Not being comfortable in a role and having to play something that you're not comfortable with because you don't feel good about your body shape. You don't feel good about being in that position. As one large lady to another, I want to let you know that I personally say thumbs up for just grinning and bearing it, as much as you hated the thing. As far as other Barnes & Noble employees, I think you all have tried really hard to entertain people. I'm really kind of surprised that corporate has not given you guys more of the resources that you need to pull this off and pull it off well. But, corporate kind of does things like that, and I'm sorry for you. I really am. But for the lady that had to dress up as Elsa and she really was not happy, well, could you just hang on and just, give a little smile? I know it wasn't what you wanted to do, sweetie. I'm sorry. Okay? So, but we all have to do that sometimes. We all have to go through and do things that we don't like. It's life. That's what life is. Oh, anyway, that's all for now. But I will talk to you all soon. And don't forget to, as I said, like or dislike, comment in the comment section below, share with all your friends and enemies, subscribe if you have not, and we'll see you soon. Probably in a couple days, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.